to this guy. He's listening to the craziest music. Listen to this shit. Sounds like a video game, but then there's some Spanish-speaking music that's coming out of this shit too. What is he jamming, right? I don't know, bro. He just pulled up next to me on some good shit. Just want to point out everybody has their own preference in music. I don't know what that is, dude. What club do they play that at? That's some gnarly shit right there. Call that song Game Over. Anyways, sorry. It just blew me away. I was just trying to talk, and this dude rolls up with some goofy noises. Didn't know what planet I landed on. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel. Is it a kid's show? Earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, child of God, evangelist, the North American Sybil. I am Lilith reincarnated here on another one. And another one. And another one. Hey, you want to see something cool? Check this out. I got my car to start. I asked this guy for a jump, and he's like, yeah. And you know what he did? He walked the battery over to me. He pulled the battery out of his car and brought it to me. I was like, why the fuck did I sit around waiting for cars to move if you were going to pull the battery out? It was a funny thing. Where'd I go? Nowhere. I just turned the car on. What the fuck is this guy listening to? Damn, that's some groovy shit, bro. I can't make it stop. I tried to put the window up. It's not working. It's too hot for that shit. Alright, in order to keep up with me, you would need to see... What the fuck is this, God? You had just seen what I put on my community page, and we need to have a conversation about this bullshit. As you can see, that shit happened way earlier this morning. And I just looked at it like, am I really supposed to respond to you? Can we have a conversation about this shit and how this shit is somehow socially acceptable? And it's not for me. Not for me. You're like, she didn't get back to you till today? No, I talked to her after that text message, and she told me she was having a tower on Friday, and that she was being relocated in her job. She didn't lose it. She was being relocated. Right? Is what happened. And she talked to me, and she's like, with all this going on, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it tomorrow, but I'll let you know. I was like, okay, cool. And then Saturday morning came, and I didn't hear from her, so I just went. I realized, she called me Friday. She told me what was up. That's fine. So I didn't hear from her on Saturday. Didn't hear from her on Sunday. Didn't hear from her on Monday. But here comes Tuesday. And her excuse is, I was feeling down about my job situation. That's some old ass shit that you can't really hold on to. You didn't lose a job. You just had to go to a job that was a different location that was closer to your house. Do you remember we had this conversation and that was a blessing for you because they didn't like you at the other location? Right? We had this conversation on Friday. How is that situation an excuse for you not reaching out in over 3 days? And I'm supposed to, as you guys would, be like, oh, it's okay. I understand what's going on. I'm supposed to be forgiving. Am I forgiving? I can be forgiving, but what you just asked me to forgive you for is absolutely motherfucking stupid. You want me to forgive you for having an attitude about some shit that happened on Friday and staying in that attitude, and because you had an attitude, that's why you didn't contact me? It's because you had an attitude about some old ass shit that I told you was cool? Explain this to me, people. I got a headache, literally. I woke up in a heat coma. I got a headache. And this is not helping. You guys accept this type of behavior, right? You let people do this shit. Like, they can get back to you whenever they can, and you'll still be friends with them. You'll forgive them. You'll you'll put it as, what is it? Dirt under the carpet, right? You know what I mean? It is forgivable, but at the same time, is it tolerable? How long shall you tolerate this shit? Do you accept it once? Twice? If you accept it once, they'll do it again. Who's they? Everybody. You're a bunch of kids, bro. If you don't put a boundary on somebody and reinforce that boundary regularly, then people don't they step all over your fucking boundaries. What is a boundary? A line of respect. A protocol and a procedure to how you deal with me. Guidelines. You know what I mean? Red flags. You know what I mean? Rules, regulations. That's what a fucking boundary is. So if I done told you last week that I don't like when people do this type shit, and you repeat the pattern, I forgive you the first time, and you repeat the pattern again, but even more extreme, is there no consequence? Do we build a friendship like this? We build a relationship with these, you know what I mean? These, you know, invisible boundaries. Meaning I told you what I don't accept and you don't care, and I'm supposed to accept that you don't care about what I told you I don't accept. So now I have to be accepting about not one thing, but two things. Why? Because I'm desperate for a friend? Because you mean so much to me? Because I don't want to lose you? Because I really enjoyed the couple times we hung out? I really want to, you know, I want to make this work. Why am I doing all the work to make this work? In the essence, now I have to be the communicator, and then the follow-up communicator, and I've got to be the problem solver, and I got to be the fucking, you know what I mean, the fucking, you know, initiator, and I got to do, you know, be the forgiver, and all this bullshit, bro. That's what I posted this morning. It's like deleted and blocked. It's like, you make this easy. It takes too much effort to deal with you people. You want people to bend over backwards to be in a relationship with you, and then you come to me and wonder why your relationships don't work? Look at what you're asking people to do for you. To just be overly accepting about your poor behaviors. These are poor behaviors, especially when we're talking about communication. How many of you are cool with that shit, bro? Being left unseen or not replied back to? I've had a fucking problem with this since day one. I've been put on silent for a long time. Am I gonna let some stranger off the street do it? Are you? Do these things bother you at all? Or you've become normalized to it and it's not a thing and I'm overreacting because you've lived this way your whole life and everybody does it. You're supposed to be cool, Phoenix. Just be forgiving. To what? To her or to everybody? Allow everybody to do what I don't like? Because that's just the way everybody is? Or I'm going to teach everybody real quick. Why do I have to bend over for a connection for you, with you, when obviously you don't know how to connect properly? This is a teaching for those of you that don't got no spines. That don't know how to stand up to your, you know, for yourself. And acknowledge that you don't like certain behaviors and what it takes to follow through with this shit. As above, so below. You shall reap what you've sown. Meaning what? I'm not going to reply to your message either, bitch. I'm not going to give you an explanation. I think, you know what I mean? This motherfucker always trying to explain some shit. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. I'm sure after a couple days she's going to understand why the fuck I ain't talking to her. I don't need to explain it, and you don't need to explain any further. You're not going to give me any more excuses and, you know, apologies as to why you can't communicate properly in your adult age. After I told you last week that you're going to need to do that in order to have a connection with me. Simplistic. Now, let's go back to the guy that asked me for my number today. Do you know I got an email from him, like, within an hour after my reading? It's like, when you are free, hit me up. That's active. I'm taking initiative. First off, who sends a fucking email anyways? I just met a dude on the street, all cookied out and shit, fucking blinged out and shit, and told him to email me. Alright, I'll email him. Out with the old, in with the new. Meaning, this friendship didn't work, and that's exactly what I told the dude. I need a new friend. Have I emailed him yet? No. He said when I'm free. I've been tied up in some bullshit, which is what? Act like her. I'm pissed off about some shit that happened on Friday. You think he'll like that? Sorry I didn't get back to you. I had an attitude about some shit that happened on Friday, and I was kind of holding on to a grudge. What kind of answer is that? I don't know. That's the answer someone gave me. They wanted me to forgive him. How do you feel about that? Yeah, let's not. Okay. I forgive you. That's stupid. I'm not gonna. That means that that's a typical behavior for you. If that's an actual honest answer that done came out of your mouth, then that's the answer you done give people all the time. Forgive me because I was, all about me. I get you. Okay, go all about you. But in essence, that's just what I mean. It's like weak people, bro. Why didn't she really say anything? Because she bombed out on me on Saturday and she felt bad. So she wanted to let the dust settle and thought that would be a better way to handle it. I'm just quiet. It's like, you didn't see that I went and did all this without you on Saturday? Why did you wait? Fucking 4 days later to see if I would still talk to you. You should have probably tried to talk to me the day that we were supposed to talk. And it's so stupid, dude. Like, I'm literally teaching humans the most human skills. I'm teaching them how to human. Down to, how to bathe. I've had to teach you guys that. I taught you how to roll a joint. I taught you the importance of fucking deodorant. Do you know what I mean? Crazy shit like this. It's like, where the fuck were your fathers and mothers, bro? I can't say mine were any better, but I learned, dude. I had to learn how to survive on my own, bro. And not only that, but I had to learn how to provide for others. And it drove me crazy, but I can't say that I came into the fucking game, fully equipped. But shit. The fuck kind of shit is that? I just want to point that out, guys. Stop tolerating shit that's intolerable. It's hurtful. At the bottom line, what's your problem? It's hurtful, bro. You ignoring me for days and days at a time is hurtful. Why am I not allowed to act in that feeling? And I'm supposed to be forgiving to your hurtful actions? I told you the first time I didn't like it. You want me to, be vulnerable and say it's hurtful? Or that it's fucking childish? Or that it's what do you want me to say to you to make you stop? Will you stop? Probably not. And that's it. It's like, you people are hurtful. With acceptance that everybody is. Oh, everybody does it. I don't do it. I mean, I try not to. If I space out because I'm a fucking space cadet. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. But in the sense of, holding out on sending this guy an email, I have every reason to do that for a minute. But once we start a conversation, I gotta keep the conversation going to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Until there's a reason that this conversation needs to end now. And that's where you get to. It's like, not everything is supposed to be forever, ever. And there's definitely signs along the way that you should have stopped this sooner. And that goes back to, Ray. I saw signs in Ray for weeks that he was a hater. You're like, did you ever talk to him again? Didn't ever talk to him again, bro. Over some shit like that. Over the Venezuelans. That's all I said, bro. I woke up here. I was so grateful that I finally got a place to live, and I told him that it was mostly Venezuelans, and he started bad-mouthing them. He started talking about the people that are my new neighbors. And actually, bro, most of them aren't. They're recognizable people that I stayed with at the hotel that finally got placed too. I told you when I started staying with those people, these are my people, bro. And in the essence, he was just being a fucking hater. Every time somebody helped me, he was a hater. Every time I was, I had a connection outside of him, he was a fucking hater. And that's it. It's like, don't fucking do that shit. I'll give you a chance, but you only get like 1 or 2 chances to fucking be ugly, dude. In the sense of, I forgive you. I'm just not going to tolerate your ugliness, bro. That's ugly. And the situation is ugly. I don't want to feel ugly every time I see a fucking message from your ass. I have to bend over backwards and turn, my stomach turns, and I gotta act differently. I gotta watch my fucking words. I gotta fucking do something different with your bitch ass. Why can't I just be me? His songs are getting weirder. We should probably put something better on, don't you think? I don't know. That's a cool frequency that he'd just be jamming to. People are interesting. It's like, where does it take your imagination? I feel like if I got in his car, if he was like a Lyft driver, bro, that's interesting. He'd be like jamming all day. He's high frequency, don't you think? Those are native noises to wherever he knows that artist. Obviously. I just wanted to point that out. Communication skills are important, bro, and how you use your words. And no response is the worst response, bro. It's a response that nobody wants to get. And there's consequences for that one, dude. You could back up some words, but when you say nothing, bro, then there's nothing to be said, bro. There's nothing to be said. I think it's kind of funny, to be honest. I make this joke about I silence people. Because at the point, it gets to a place like, what are you going to say to me, chick? What are you going to say to me? What could you possibly? And that's the twin flames. That's my family. That's the studio. What the fuck you going to say to me, bro? You're just happy to see me. You want to apologize to me, and you want exactly that. You want my fucking energy and my love. Oh, really? After you fucking kicked it to the curb and told everyone I was crazy or whatever you may have or may not done? After you used and abused me, now you're back for more? How lovely. No. Gave you plenty. Go away. It's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, what does she want? More? More? Do I want more? No, I'm cool. I don't want more of this. In the essence, imagine how I felt. Oh, I have a friend that wants to adventure and do stuff. And then the friend's like, no, I'm not going to adventure and do stuff. And then, even more, I'm going to ghost you. Thanks, friend. I'm an adult and I'm not supposed to act up about it, but let's be honest, dude. It's hurtful when people say they're going to do something and then they don't do it. When people lie to your fucking face. Yeah, life comes up and that's cool, and I get that for sure. But in the sense of the ghosting, bro, it's so much easier for people to just fucking run away from their fucking problems than just face them like an adult. You know what I mean? I'm weak too. They're showing me, how I ghosted fucking Bobby and all of that. And that's it too. There's no way I could have expected he was gonna ghost me. Fuck. That wasn't the smartest thing. Of all the things you could have done, why'd you do that? And it's like, okay, this is a habit that I don't fucking accept. This is a trauma triggering habit in human beings, bro. You guys find this shit fucking acceptable, that you could just ghost people, that you could just disappear on them and not return their fucking messages or nothing, and then come back later like everything is okay. That's not okay, bro. I don't know who the fuck taught y'all that, but that's not okay, bro. And you wonder why your relationships are fucked off, bro. Nobody takes you serious. You don't take your relationships serious, bro. And that's it. A friend will answer the phone whenever, bro. They're there, bro. They're gonna be there, dude. I was that friend. You could call me. But when I couldn't help them, when I didn't have anything to actually help them, they stopped calling me. That was me. You could always call me. Call her for a ride. She'll help us. I was always that person. I'll help you. Why? Because I knew what it felt like to never have anyone to help you. Imagine my surprise when people started helping me. Strangers. In the essence, it's like, work on that, guys. Work on it. You may not have done it to me, but you do it to someone, and it's hurtful, bro. It's hurtful. Even if it's your mother. You know what I mean? Like, they text you and you don't text them back, and they just have to accept your shitty-ass behaviors and just have to be quiet and wait for you to fucking come back and show them some love. That's hurtful shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. Any relationship you're doing that in where you're not maintaining the fucking relationship in simple conversation form. You need to work on that. Am I all butthurt about it? I mean, not her specifically, but I've been hurt about that my whole life. My whole life, that's hurt me. I'm not going to let somebody else continue to do that type of shit. And that's just being honest. And, it's petty. Somebody would say that's petty. My feelings aren't petty. How it feels inside does. It feels like it does. It makes me feel small. It makes me feel real small. You know what I mean? That I'm not important. And that's, those feelings that I have, I've seen them in other people too when they don't get a response. When these women are at the fucking club staring at their fucking phone, waiting for somebody to respond to their texts. And guys and everybody, I know everybody knows what that feels like. If you know what it feels like, then why do you do it? If you're not helping the problem, then you're part of the problem. If we all stand united in this and we start, you know what I mean, not necessarily fighting back, but stepping up to teaching others how to behave with us, putting it on a fucking t-shirt, leave me on scene and see what happens. Put that on a t-shirt. Leave me on scene and see what happens. All right, there's our motto. There you go. Put it on a billboard. And that's our new philosophy. Leave me on scene and see what happens. If that's what we need to, we got to make it cool and shit. We got to make a cool, word about it. There it is. Here's the word. No more. Stop leaving people on scene. You're going to see what happens. You're going to lose a lot of people fucking around like that. In the essence, if you were looking for, you know what I mean? When you're looking for an email from a job, from school, from, you know what I mean, from somebody of authority, you're waiting for that fucking, you know what I mean, that initiation letter, that acceptance letter. You're waiting on stuff, you know what I mean? It's extremely important. Every day you don't get any answers is another hard day of not knowing. It goes back to a lot of different areas of life where this is just, basic communication skills that should have been taught in elementary. They told you to be nice, but they didn't tell you how to, how to be nice. Just be nice. That's all I got to say about that. You know what I mean? In the end, it's like, it's not you, it's me, and I've come to make a change in the world, and it starts with, you know what I mean, standing up to people like you. That's it. What do you want? You want to punch me? You want to be mad about it? That you're the one I have to stand up to? I should have stood up to a lot of people before you, and I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to stand up to everyone else after you. I had to start somewhere, bro. We got to make a change one day. One day we've got to have enough of the bullshit. And that's it. It's like, you'll take it until you won't take it. Until you've had enough. Okay, I've had enough of this. And then you'll do something about it. And, I hope that you're ready to do something about it too, people, because if everybody gets on the same page, then we can literally do something about this. If we start standing up united in the sense that this is not okay, then people will start changing their behaviors. They go by the mass majority of what is good, bad, right, wrong, what's okay and what isn't okay. They're looking to the crowds, again, the followers. We need to lead them and show them that this isn't okay. You know what I mean? It's just not. Show them how to be better people. How to be more responsive. More accountable. Braver in their, you know what I mean? In their resolve. In the sense of, I don't know what to say. Say something. Just say something. Say, you got me. I'm at a loss of words. I'm going to take a break from this conversation. Something. Just leave people unseen. Just don't walk away. Every conversation I ever ended where, like, I'm in the middle of talking to fucking Marshall, and then all of a sudden I got shit to do. Marshall, I gotta go, dude. I got shit I gotta do. I'll catch up with you. You know what I mean? Or if I dropped off in the conversation, all of a sudden I just went quiet for a couple minutes. Sorry, I got pulled to Russ's page, and this is what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I would explain where I was in the conversation. I literally talked to him all day, told him what I was doing all day. Every joke that came into my mind, every time the Holy Spirit, whatever song was on, he was talking to him all day. He's got to miss me. He's got to miss that. Nobody gave him that much attention, dude, where I was like, you're like, all day? All day. All day, from the very moment I woke up. Good morning. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you. All right, I'm going to bed now. Good night. See you tomorrow. Yeah, for how long? I don't know. Ever. But if there was gaps in the communication, he knew what I was doing. He knew what I was doing at all times. Why? Because I just told him. He didn't have to wonder. I'd tell him, oh, okay, I'm going here, 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 and there. And that's why he didn't hear from me. You know what I mean? It was just, did he ask for any of that information? No, I just told him what I was up to. It was communication. I was letting him know what I was doing in my life. I was letting him be part of my life. Every moment of my life, what I'm doing with my life. You know what I mean? Do I expect all of that? No. That's maybe a bit extra. But that was, where I was with our relationship. But in the sense of, it's like, that's what that calls for. Like, what are you up to? I'm just checking in to see how you're doing. You know what I mean? That's what it's supposed to be. Is like, you don't check in like once a week, once a month, every 2 weeks. And what kind of relationship is this? It's not. You can't build relationships like that. Not real standing ones where there's trust and closeness. Can't get close with those kind of, you know what I mean? Time, uh, uh, time gaps. You know, just something to think about for everybody. Speaking of which, I feel kind of conflicted. I'm going to send this dude an email. I told him straight up, what you going to call the priestess for? I'm gonna test him. What video did you watch? He just saw a cool chick and wanted to hang out with a cool chick. His spirit was brave enough. He must be in his 20s. People lose their bravery at a certain age, bro. They're not brave. They're not going to put themselves out there for failure or rejection. They're not going to take no risks with no strangers and not go out of their fucking backyard, bro. I don't know. I thought I was brave. How often do people talk to me? They run from me, bro. And if they're not running from me, I'm running from them. Anyways, there's nowhere to run. Work on that, people. Work on that. Don't be such bad friends, or be better friends. Be better people. Teach your children to be better. Teach your friends to be better. Tell your parents to be better too. Don't let them leave you unseen either. Put me on scene and see what happens. That's our new motto, guys. Spread the word. Latest haters.